Thank you very much, Senator Butler. I'm going to start the questions and note the fact that both of the nominees before us have some similarity in their background. It turns out you both have been professors of law at various times of your life, and also have been prosecutors with some very important cases. It is interesting that we have a number of nominees over the years who have been prosecutors and make great judges. We have had fewer when it comes to the public defense side, but that has been changing. There is at least a movement on one side of this committee to diversify the bench when it comes to that experience. Could you address the basic question, if I am accused of a crime and appear before you as a judge, look at your background and say, oh, this judge has been a prosecutor over and over again. Do I have a chance before this court? What is your response to that if you're the judge sitting and trying to assure the person that justice is going to be followed? Judge Cheeks?
Thank you for the question. I would respond with absolutely there will be a fair shake with anyone that appears in front of my courtroom, regardless of the type of case, particularly if an individual comes in front of me that has been accused of a crime. As you mentioned, I have a prosecutorial background of 10 years prosecuting cases, but on the other hand, I also have 10 years of being a defense attorney. So I know both sides of the criminal justice coin very well, and as a sitting judge, it is my duty to give everyone that comes before me a fair shake, give them an opportunity to be heard, and to apply the law to the facts unbiasedly and with an open mind.
Judge Murillo?
Thank you. I would agree with Judge Cheeks, but I would remind you, Senator, I've been a judge for about almost 10 years. Yes, I was a prosecutor for 17 years before then, but I had a pretty balanced view of my role as a prosecutor, always intending to not only prosecute the cases that I had to the fullest extent of the law, but also balancing that against maintaining the rights of the defendants and also maintaining a healthy respect for the defendants. As a judge, I try to treat everybody in my court with humanity, dignity, and respect. I call everybody by their names. I give everybody a fair opportunity to be heard. I try to be prepared. And I think in the 10 years, I hope that I have conveyed that to the people that appear in my court.
Judge Cheeks, you've written some articles relative to the George Floyd murder and the whole issue of race and criminal justice. Would you like to describe your position to the committee?
Yes, as a defense attorney, I wrote a variety of articles detailing issues with regards to criminal justice issues, race issues, George Floyd. I didn't really take a position in those articles mostly. What I wanted to do was to educate the reader on what was going on, identify the fact that there are some issues or problems going on in the world, and just throw out the question of how can we solve it without actually stating how to solve it, because I don't know how. And I'm very open about my position as an individual, particularly as a black man, and all of my experiences, and I find it helpful, and others have told me that they find it helpful to hear my experiences to help shape the way that they think and the way that they engage in this type of conversation. And so even though it opens myself up a little bit with regards to the experiences that I've had, I found it helpful, and others have told me that they found it helpful to know that it's happening within the legal community. Sometimes people think that it's far away and it only happens to people that are far away. But I've been told it's been good to know that someone that they know has gone through some experiences.
And you've also addressed the issue of child parenting. Would you like to comment on that?
Yes. I wrote an article about parenting my children who are mixed African American and Hispanic. And I wanted to sort of tell my apprehensions about how I'm going to raise them with regard to how they're going to be able to deal with challenges in life, but particularly challenges because of their skin color, if that were to come. And I wanted to just express some apprehensions about having those difficult conversations with my kids. They're only 6 and 8, and when I should have that conversation. And so I just wanted to express that there are some issues that I'm going to have to speak to my children about that others may not have to.
Right. The famous conversation which parents of minority children have to protect them in situations that others may not face. Judge Murillo, your thoughts on the subject? Microphone.
I'm sorry, Senator, my thoughts on the subject of which portion?
This whole question of minority relationships with our criminal justice system.
I think it's a delicate issue for legislators to try to come up with solutions to address. In my role as a judge, when those issues come before me, I do my best to analyze the facts of each case and the circumstances. And I do that with an awareness of some of the fear and issues that are presented by those cases, and I do my best to resolve them in a way that is fair to all parties.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Kennedy?